Muscatine City Council, please come to order. Thanks everybody for joining us here in council chambers this evening. This is an in-depth meeting tonight. We're very happy to have you here. And we're going to start this evening with a presentation by the writers. Pardon? We'll have to do that too. I always want to forget the roll call. Greg, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Councilmember Lang?
Present.
Roby?
Present.
Bynum?
Present.
Shahade?
Present.
Natvig? Fitzgerald?
Present.
And Lorette?
Present.
6 present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Once again, we are very happy to have everyone here with us, and we'll start with a presentation by Writers Club of Muscatine. I believe the speaker will be Miss Ann Green. And we will ask you to come to the lectern. Yes, please. I'll ask you to give us your name and your address.
My name is Ann Green, and I reside at 32504 148th Avenue West in Illinois City. Is that it? Okay.
That's it. That's it.
This is my first one of these, sorry. I am currently the director of Writers Club of Muscatine. We are a nonprofit organization, and our focus is to provide transportation only for a membership fee to the elderly in the area or those that are unable to drive for whatever reason. My fiance is Kenny Stulls, and he is also working this out with me, hopefully. And there is an original chapter in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Writers Club of America. They do the same thing. And basically what it entails is for a membership fee, which is a yearly membership fee, we would provide voluntary transportation, one-on-one service, say, to somebody of an older age that is unable to drive anymore for whatever reason, doctor's orders, can't see, whatever. And in this service, the good points of it are that we are able to give them one-to-one service rather than if they say have always taken the bus but they find that it doesn't meet their needs in terms of, okay, they don't want to wait for everyone else to get off before they meet their stop. They have doctor's appointments to get to that thing. We would be able to take them right to the door. We would also provide a more personal form of transportation for them, enabling them to be like, I don't know, the focal point of their experience with us. We're not in competition. We're not trying to compete in any way with taxi cabs, buses, anything like that. That's not what we do, and it's not who we are desiring to be. I think you should have a copy, or maybe you don't, of a presentation that I put together for you all so that you could kind of familiarize yourselves with what it is that we want to do.
Council, questions, comments? Greg?
Just a couple comments, Your Honor. You know, in speaking with the city attorney, in order to provide a waiver or an exemption, the city code would have to be amended to do so. The current annual license fee is $30 per vehicle. There's a $5,000 bond, which is waived if there's no office in town. And general liability and auto insurance are required as well for the service. The issue being with, or the city attorney's issue, I guess, were twofold. One, that there's a membership fee, and two, that there's a per mileage fee for the rides. Didn't qualify, it does qualify as a taxi under our present ordinance. If city council would wish to proceed, we would need to modify the ordinance.
And just to kind of expand to those of you who aren't familiar with the program, the reason it would be difficult for us to actually meet a $30 per vehicle fee is we have volunteer drivers. There would be no paid drivers at all whatsoever. They wouldn't even be able to handle cash or accept tips. That kind of keeps it on a safety level for our clients that would wish to be members. And so that's the main reason. It wouldn't be feasible if somebody began to volunteer for us, say in December, and we pay the $30 fee, and then it could no longer volunteer 3 weeks from then. It just isn't feasible for the way the program's run. And I just wanted to kind of make you aware of how that works.
Osama, you.
Ms. Green, my question to you, probably you are familiar with our Musca bus.
Yes, sir.
In town here. So, and you mentioned earlier that you have no competition whatsoever.
Oh, no.
Musca bus, I think we get funded by federal money, and I think one of the items there, it's based on the number of riders in that Musca bus. So taking away a certain amount of the riders from Musca bus, that I think might have decreased the funding for Muscatine Musca bus. So where do you stand on that?
Okay, I actually did meet with Christy Corpy, and we spoke briefly. Where I stand with that is I want to look at Riders Club more like the food stamps of transportation. It's supplementary. This is in no way meant to replace Musca bus. This is, say, on a day that it's, they have 45 minutes to get to the doctor. They catch the bus in 10. They know they're not going to be there on time. They can call us if they have a membership and say, hey, you know what? I missed the bus. Can you be here to get me? And we'll take care of it. It's that type of thing. It's a supplement. It's not in any way meant to take it over. We couldn't handle it if we tried. That wouldn't be reasonable.
I understand. Thanks.
Jerry, you have a comment?
The question is, what would the fee be? Have you determined the membership fee?
Sure. It's $60 for 1 year, and that's so basically $5 per month. And then what we do is we charge a $5 minimum for any trip. So if you were to sign up tomorrow, okay, it would be $110 to get you going, and that's good for the year. The other $50 off of the $60 from the $110, the other $50, what it basically does is it's your prepay amount. If you get to where you're using that up, we would call you and say, this is kind of getting depleted. Would you like to replenish your prepay account or not? And that's what that is. What we do is that pays administration costs.
Next question.
Okay.
Administration-wise, that's like you set up an office and have a person?
We do have an office. Initially, I would be the person. However, because we're affiliated with Riders Club of America, we also have software fees that we pay. We have a lot of paperwork that has to be filed. We'll be having bank accounts, things like that. It's just going to be general administration. It's in no way a way to make money. I can't even see it.
So Riders Club is a national organization?
He started the one in Cedar Rapids. He calls it Riders Club of America. He only serves Cedar Rapids. I think he might serve like the Marion, Hiawatha area because it's Cedar Rapids, really. But it's not by any means all over America. And that's why I kept the title Riders Club of Muscatine, because this is where we'd be serving.
The other one in Iowa would be in Cedar Rapids.
That's it, yeah.
About how many clients do you have there?
Okay, and he has told me recently his numbers fall. I want to say he's got 250. And he's been going 2 years now, just over 2 years.
And he's had good success in finding volunteer drivers?
The one thing he told us is we want to definitely be looking for drivers because the riders are going to come. And at least that was his experience, is when the riders started pouring in, he really didn't have the drivers to back it up for a while. Now he has plenty. But he's done a lot of going out and speaking, you know, doing a lot of different things to get the attention for the help.
Well, with the cost of gasoline being
Right.
what it is, and the fact they'd be miles on their car.
Right, now they do get reimbursed 23 cents per mile. And they have the option, if they want, to either get that in a check for themselves, or they can donate that to the charity of their choice.
Did I miss that in the write-up then?
It very well may be.
Okay. What about the liability for the drivers? and
Okay.
passengers?
For insurance-wise, they are required to have at least, sorry about that, at least a liability policy, which covers a certain amount, and actually Kenny knows all about that. We would also, which we're shopping for right now, going to be having a $2 million blanket policy, which would cover us and keep us safe and also keep our members safe and drivers as well.
That would be part of the administrative cost.
Absolutely.
What about medical approval for the drivers? Do you do anything about?
Our drivers have to, of course, have their driver's license, have the insurance. Their vehicle has to meet our standards. It can't be a filthy, broken-down vehicle. And also, they have to pass background checks. We do background checks that are pretty thorough. Say somebody does have a felony from 5 years ago, that's, say, a financial-type felony. If they have let a certain amount of time go by and had no trouble, and if our rider is okay with having a driver that is a felon, then we'll do it. But if the rider in any way is disagreeable, then we don't approve that.
One difference I note with Muscabus is they will do the home pickup if they're available. There's no assurance that they can do it unless there is a bus available. But you would be providing a car as requested.
No, they have to have a car in order to volunteer.
I mean, the people calling for a ride, you can guarantee them a pickup time.
Oh, absolutely. If we tell you you're getting picked up, you'll get picked up. Kenny's also my first volunteer. And so if there's going to be any slack, then they're going to be gotten by him or myself or one of us.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Does the automobile requirements, is there a certain age of the vehicle? What's the procedure? Check each car out.
Actually, I don't believe there's an age requirement. I believe it has to be clean. We have to carry it. It has to be in good running condition. If it's knocking and we can hear it while you're driving, or if you can feel it in the vehicle, it's not going to be okay. Our drivers also are going to go on a ride with our driver or coordinator, and that's part of their training. They'll have to go on a ride, see how they drive, see how they are behind the wheel. And if any of those are problems and the vehicle's not acceptable, if it's something I wouldn't want to ride in, I wouldn't want to put my grandmother or my mother in it. And so it's going to be important to me that that vehicle's safe and sound and should be insured and driven safely.
A communications office, if you will be established, a communication office, or just someone with a telephone?
I actually will have our office set up in our home. We have an extra room that is our office, and then my telephone will be on all the time, and that's going to be the main line. Yeah.
Further questions or comments, council?
Well, is this an office in Muscatine or over in Illinois?
It's in Illinois City. However, we are looking into, if everything's going to go as well as we hope, we are looking into maybe getting an office here in Muscatine so that they are able to come to us and set it up. It would be difficult for them. In the meantime, if they call us and they want to set up a membership with us or make arrangements to find out more about our business, then we would be going to their residence and dealing with that, with them or wherever they're comfortable with.
Why would I want to put my automobile in service and to perform this service?
I think that it's a matter of personal time spending, volunteering, things you want to do that make you feel good. And if it's something you enjoy and something you can afford, then you should do that. However, if it is not, it isn't something I would recommend. Mm-hmm. And when they come to me and ask me, is this a good volunteer fit for me? If it doesn't meet those type of criteria, then I would definitely have to tell them to find another volunteer job. I wouldn't want them to put themselves out because it's about both the rider and the driver.
This $30 fee that you talked about. And Greg, what I think I understood you to say was this $30 fee would require a complete change.
There's an annual license fee of $30 per vehicle.
Right.
And there is general liability insurance, there is auto insurance, and there is a $5,000 bond required. The ordinance would have to be changed.
Right.
The definition would have to be changed so that this type of organization would not be included as a taxi. You know, the issue being that there are two fees that the rider is paying, both a membership fee and a per mileage fee, like a taxi service. So the present ordinance